Mike Matarazzo's 1991 USA win was so iconic it still echoes today, because he beat not one, not two, but three future icons. In the history of bodybuilding, certain victories stand out not just for what they were, but for who was in the line of fire. Mike Matarazzo's triumph at the 1991 USA Championships is one of those defining moments, an underdog story that reverberates through the sport decades later. The Boston truck driver who came to Venice. Mike Matarazzo, known affectionately as Big Guns, wasn't a household name when he arrived in Venice, California in early 1991. Originally from Boston, he had already made a splash by winning the 1989 Gold's Gym Classic in Massachusetts, but the NPC USA Championships represented a huge leap in competition. In Venice, bodybuilding's mecca, the gym was filled with elite amateurs chasing pro status, and gracing its benches were future greats like Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, and Sean Ray. Many thought Matarazzo was out of his depth. Critics and even acquaintances in Venice dismissed him as a relative unknown, that Maserati guy whose name they didn't even bother learning. Conventional wisdom held that he should have built his reputation in smaller contests before stepping into the prestige of the USA Championships. A shock victory for the ages. But Mike didn't play it safe. At the 1991 NPC USA Championships, Matarazzo entered the heavyweight division, which back then crammed every competitor over 198 pounds into the same class, against an absurdly stacked lineup of future bodybuilding legends. And what he accomplished that day was nothing short of historic. The barbell. At just 25 years old and in only his second bodybuilding contest, Matarazzo won both the heavyweight class and the overall title, securing his IFBB Pro card on the first try. In the process he defeated three names who would go on to define 1990s bodybuilding. Flex Wheeler, later widely regarded as one of the greatest physiques the sport has ever seen. Chris Cormier, a future IFBB Pro with a long and storied competitive career. Ronnie Coleman, who would become arguably the most dominant Mr. Olympia in history with 8 consecutive titles. This was more than a win, it was a massive upset. No one but Matarazzo himself believed he had a real shot at the title. He later recalled that people told him he wouldn't even get a single call-out on stage. When he lifted that overall trophy, it wasn't just a victory, it was the closest thing bodybuilding had to a Cinderella story. Why it still matters. Matarazzo's 1991 USA victory remains iconic for several reasons. Improbable achievement, turning pro on the second ever contest he entered is almost unheard of in bodybuilding history. Historic field, beating three future icons, Wheeler, Cormier, and Coleman, put him instantly in the record books. Legacy beyond the win, though he never captured a pro title, he became one of the most popular and respected figures in the sport, known for his massive arms and calves and an infectious passion for training. What came after? After earning his pro card, Matarazzo competed in some of bodybuilding's biggest stages, including the Mr. Olympia contest. While victory at the pro level eluded him, his presence and personality left a lasting mark on fans and fellow competitors alike. His competitive career eventually wound down in the early 2000s, but his legend lives on. The story of that stunning 1991 win, the day an underdog from Boston beat not one, not two, but three soon-to-be legends, continues to be talked about among bodybuilding enthusiasts and historians. It's a reminder that in sports, anything can happen when preparation meets fearless ambition.